let's see. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Alright, it's late, but I thought I'd go ahead and go live for like maybe half an hour. Okay, so can everybody hear me? Are we good? Video look okay? All right, cool. It is Monday night, so I don't think we're going to get too many people in here, but whatever. We get what we get. All right. I am joined by Trevor. Hey, Trevor. So anyway, I don't know why my Wii Sports stream died at the end, but I did beat Elisa. For some reason, the stream crapped out. I did beat her, so I'm now pro in tennis. I then did a Wii Fitness test, and I got 27, which is not up to my standard usually, but it's still good. It's still younger than my actual age. So I did go pro, so I don't know if I'm going to keep playing Wii Sports. I might get Wii Sports Resort and play that instead, because that's going to have other sports that I've never played before, so that might be fun. I know that has like the basketball, the cycling, the archery. So I might get that and play that a little bit on stream. I think some people would really like that, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bother with the training, because you can do like training exercises in Wii Sports. Hey, John. But I don't know if I'm going to do those on stream. John, he said that Jody Allen was not happy and did not see this as just a one-year fluke, which indicates that she may be willing to take action. Look. Well, John, they could finish strong and Pete still doesn't get a mulligan. Who knows? Like, this team was supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. So going 9-8 and missing the playoffs by a game or a tiebreaker, you're still not close to a Super Bowl contender. You might be close to a playoff contender, but that's not what this year was supposed to be about. Whew. Well, John, maybe they could approach it from many different ways. Ownership might, I mean, what I want ownership to do is hire a head of football operations and let him make the decision. Jody Allen should not be the one making the decision on whether or not we should keep Wilson. She's not qualified to make that decision. Chuck Arnold isn't even really qualified. You hire a football guy, you let the football guy make his own decision. Because what you don't want to do is bring in a football guy and say, okay, you're the boss, but you have to do X, Y, and Z. Because then it's not really their team. They're not going to feel like they have control. That's what Jerry Jones did to Bill Parcells. Hey, Bill. Yeah. So, a lot of people are talking up Louis Riddick for GM. A lot of people are buzzing about him getting a GM job. But I don't know too much about him. His resume seems all right. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But you know, maybe the guy Schneider. Maybe you just say, okay, we're going to set you free from Carroll, and it's going to be your show. And maybe John can do some good things. It's possible. It's hard to know how much control John's had in that relationship over the years. It doesn't seem like that much. Yeah, John, but the thing is, being a disciplinarian only works if you're winning. Like, look at Joe Judge. Joe Judge is a disciplinarian, and he's awful because his players don't take him seriously because he doesn't win. Like, sometimes you can tell, right? Like, Pete Carroll loved DK Metcalf, and I don't think John did. But John loved Marquise Blair, and I don't think Pete did. I mean, I want a disciplinarian too, but you can't be that hard ass if you're not producing results. Players are not going to deal with it if you're trying to be a hard ass and you're not winning. Players will deal with it for Belichick because he's won so much. He has so much success. Okay, unpopular opinion, I don't mind the fact that we skipped on Creed so much because of the offense that we're trying to build, but it looks really bad right now. But I'll be perfectly honest, I cannot bring myself to kill them for passing up Creed just because he wouldn't have been a fit in what we're trying to build in this offense, I don't think. Creed Humphrey plays in a phone booth, and we want guys who can play in space. Now, you still could have taken him. Diego, I don't have an issue with Waldron. I don't have any feelings about Waldron. I don't think you can fire him solely because that would imply that he's the problem when he's obviously not the problem because the problem started last year. However, if you fire Pete, then you're probably going to have to get rid of Waldron too. Because Pete hired Waldron, and whoever you bring in to replace Pete is going to want to bring in his own guy in all likelihood. So most likely, if you move on from Pete, you're going to have to move on from Waldron. Now, I don't know if Waldron's good or bad, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can keep him if you move on from Pete, because that probably won't make the incoming head coach happy. But yeah, that's the thing. You know, I'm going to talk more. I'm going to talk more about this down the line if Russell Wilson continues to play well. But here's the question. Are you willing to trade? Are you willing to lose Russell Wilson to get rid of Pete Carroll and John Schneider? Mostly Pete. Mostly Pete, but John's in there too. Are you willing to get rid of Wilson if that's what it takes to get rid of Carroll? To me, the answer is yes. No problem, Diego. To me, the answer is yes. But that might be what it comes down to. At the end of the year, you might go, okay, we can either keep everything or dump everything. Right? Because if you want to keep Wilson, then you might go, okay, well, we need to keep Waldron because Wilson needs a second year in this system. And if we bring in another system, it's going to mess him up even more. It's going to take more time. We don't have time for this. So then you might go, okay, so if we want to keep Wilson, we need to keep Waldron. Well, if we want to keep Waldron, we have to keep Carroll. If we keep Carroll, we have to keep Norton. You see how this goes? You see how quickly you have to talk yourself into, okay, we're bringing everything back if you keep Wilson? So that might be the decision that gets made this offseason. And if Wilson plays really well the rest of the season, it's not going to be an easy call. For me, it is, because I believe that this team is never going to win a Super Bowl with Carroll at the helm. But some people are not so sure about that. So that to me is going to be the central question if Wilson continues to play really well the rest of this season. Would you be willing to get rid of Wilson to get rid of Carroll? Or would you be willing to keep Carroll if that's what it takes to keep Russell? Depending on how you want to look at it. And for me, the answer is clearly, yeah, I'm willing to get rid of Wilson to get rid of Carroll. Because having Wilson doesn't matter nearly as much as it should with Carroll. But it's not necessarily, it's not going to be a unanimous decision. It's really hard to get rid of Carroll and keep Wilson. Especially if you hire an offensive-minded head coach. And remember, I mean, Pete and John have not had a good draft in 8 years, so you're marrying yourself to another lackluster draft, probably. I mean, that's the trend. Or we can't develop players. Not really, Diego. I'm not a big fan of the QBs in this class. There are a couple that are okay, but there are no super prospects. This stream is brought to you by Dasani, motherfuckers. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, we don't need a QB next year if we do this. Just get Teddy Bridgewater, take it up the butt for a year, and then figure it out the year after. Okay, this guy. Oh, this was clicking. Did this go back? Well, John, I don't think that's going to happen. If Eason was going to do that, I think he would have done it by now. Problem is, they don't make QBs like they used to, man. Like, you don't see QBs like Peyton anymore where they are the whole offense. We've talked about that before. All these QBs, like, they make the offense so simple for them sometimes, especially when they're from a big school. Oh, by the way, please like the stream, guys. Helps the channel. Click the thumbs up. It's always appreciated. Oh, Lester, no, I got nothing negative to say about Trevor Lawrence. He doesn't even have his best receiver, or probably his best running back. Yeah, DJ Chark's been out the whole year, and the running back they drafted has been out the whole year, and he's got Urban Meyer. That's the most dysfunctional team in the league. Like, I have zero interest in bailing on Trevor Lawrence. He's great. He's special. Now, he's not Peyton Manning, but he's good. That's a legitimate talent. I would have traded Wilson straight up for the #1 pick to get Lawrence last year if we decided to go that way. Now, obviously, Jacksonville would never have done that. Nope, I screwed that up. Byron D, thank you for the $1.99. Who should we release? What positions be drafted? I think the players that you release are Bobby Wagner, Chris Carson, and Jason Myers. And the positions I want to draft would be maybe a right tackle if you get your left tackle and center in free agency, which is what I want to do. And then maybe you start in the later rounds, take a look at some running backs, cornerbacks, linebackers. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Myers is due $5 million next year. It doesn't make any sense to pay a kicker $5 million unless he's Justin Tucker. They're too inconsistent. You may as well pay somebody $1 million and hope. Because that's all you got with most of these kickers. Hope. You hope they're going to have a good year. There's too much randomness at that position. You can save some money there. Who would you trade Wilson for? Talking about young QBs. I don't really like any of them, Diego. Maybe Watson, but there's too much shit going on there right now. I want to trade Wilson for picks and build for the future. I'm not trying to get something so I can win right now. I want to take this a little slower. I want to do this right. I want to have a process. I don't want to go, okay, we're going to trade Wilson for another QB now. Go, 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 go. I want to be able to take some time with it. Hey, people. Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts is never going to be a great passer, but he has some strengths, and you can burn a year on him, maybe even 2 years. Hey, cool, Fluey. Parth, no. Maybe a little, but I think the change really was with Wilson. I think Wilson was just playing differently. I think Wilson was making a concerted effort to get the ball out of his hands quicker. I think he was making a concerted effort to take the easy stuff. I think it was a change in the way Wilson played in that game more than anything. This is the closest thing I have to a rubber ducky. Well, Diego, they're going to be back. Diego, they're going to be back when we're good again. Like, having bandwagon fans is the cost of being good, okay? You should never not want bandwagon fans. Because if you don't have any bandwagon fans, it means your team is ass. It's going fine, man. I went pro in tennis on the Wii. Well, the reason why we didn't draft offensive linemen in the first round for a while was, I think, the fact that college offensive linemen were not playing. They weren't really playing offensive line. They were basically just playing tackling dummy. Or blocking sled. So Tom Cable felt like, well, if none of these guys know how to play the position anyway, I may as well just get a bunch of rando UDFAs and late round picks and try to develop them. And that really didn't work. And yeah. The best Wii game besides Wii Sports? Honestly, the only Wii games that I've spent significant time playing are Wii Sports and Wii Play, and Wii Sports is better, but by default I would say Wii Play. But what happens if Penny balls out? Then good for him. Look, I don't know how many times Penny has to get hurt to convince you guys that he can't be here anymore. But he's done it enough times to convince me. I don't care if he wants to play for free. Like, at least let me use that roster spot on a dude who has a chance to be out there once in a while. Or if he's going to be super injury prone, then let him be a guy with extreme upside. Rashad Penny doesn't have extreme upside. He's okay every now and then. Like, the reward is not worth it. The reward is just whatever. I don't want Baker Mayfield. He's going to want a new contract anyway. According to 538, we have a 4% chance of making the playoffs. Look, I'll start talking about playoffs if we beat the Rams. If we can beat the Texans and then beat the Rams, then I'll start talking about playoffs. But before then, I just feel like a complete idiot. Like I guarantee you, every other fan base in the league, if they tuned into one of my videos or one of my streams and heard me, like, seriously talking about the Seahawks making the playoffs this year, they're going to laugh their ass off. They're going to be like, why is this guy talking about that? He may as well be talking about, what if aliens land on Earth tomorrow? Like, it has about the same odds of happening. But if you beat the Rams, then okay, now it's not so ridiculous. Now we can at least discuss it. But right now, I don't think it's worth talking about. And I get a lot of people coming into my streams asking me, do you think we're going to make the playoffs? And I'm like, why are we even talking about that right now? Let's win some games first, okay? Let's just focus on winning some games, and then after we actually get something impressive going. Because, look, we own... Look, we own the 49ers, okay? In every game this season that wasn't against the 49ers, this team didn't look very good. So they still have a lot to prove to me. I guess they look pretty good in the Colts game, but whatever. I mean, honestly, even in that 49ers game, we won and we did a lot of good things. But we did a lot of crappy things as well, and there were moments in that game where we showed how bad of a team we are. Yeah, I don't expect Carson to ever play football again. Yeah, we look good in the Jaguars game, but does that even count? Ed Dixon, the tight end? I remember Ed Dixon. Poor guy. Yeah, I heard about Tyrod Taylor. Jonah, I don't drink. Send me drinking money via Super Chat. Maybe I'll think about it, but I don't drink. It's against my religion. No, I'm outside right now, guys. Look, I don't know if you guys can see very well. Okay. Can you guys see anything? That's like the tree line. I'm in my backyard. I don't know if you guys could have seen could see anything just now. Yeah, I know, Jonah, but the thing is, if you get a guy like a Daniel Jones, it doesn't matter. He's just a stopgap. Yeah, Byron, I've done it before. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year or not, though. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's probably for the better. I don't need you guys using, like, the star charts to figure out where I am. Where I currently am right now, my neighbors couldn't even really look at me even if they wanted to, so I'm not too worried about that. Well, Isaac, if he gets hit like that again, he could be paralyzed. Like that's a neck injury for a running back who's a power runner. That's really bad. Yeah, Ayaan, but hopefully once the lockout clears, they'll be able to just go get those guys. I really wish Daniel Jones was good. He's such a cool dude. I wanted Daniel Jones to be good, but he sucks. I don't like Jordan Love that much. I'm not a big fan, but it's an interesting thought. Well, the Kraken were not supposed to be good this year, Byron. That's understandable. I don't. The Kraken being a thing that exists by itself is cool. Austin, the stream died. I don't know why, but I did beat Elisa, so I went pro in tennis. I did beat her. I went pro in tennis. I actually think I did a perfect game on her. I think I blanked her. So, unfortunately, the stream didn't catch it, but I did go pro in tennis. Now I don't know if I'm going to keep playing a Wii Sports. We'll see. I think they would, Jonah. The possibility of getting a franchise QB is very tantalizing to these teams. Look what the Rams gave up for Stafford. Stafford has never won a playoff game. Stafford's made one Pro Bowl. Ayaan, I think if Jake Haener comes to the Huskies, then Heward transfers. No, Austin, I've gone pro in every sport now. But, So the only thing left I could do, Austin, is the training. I don't know if I want to do that on stream. I mean, the training exercises are a pain in the ass. Yeah, JR, they price people out. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for me on this hot tub stream. I'm going to chill here for a little while longer. Yeah, I might do Wii Sports Resort. Cool Fooey. I might do Wii Sports Resort. But I'm going to chill here for a little while longer. And see you guys tomorrow. Go Hawks.